In this video, I'm going to help you get out of the self-concept hamster wheel, the self-concept trap, the self-concept work, and all the affirmations and everything you have to do. I'm going to show you a whole different perspective on this, and I want to share with you another source story that I got in just early this morning that really put a big smile on my face. And I've had so many of my clients who are doing exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video on how they're getting fast movement and everything that they want, because they stop chasing the self-concept hamster wheel. So stick with me. You're going to love this video, and you're going to want to save this and come back to it and hear it again and again and again until it sinks in. Welcome. My name is Rose. Welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me, you know what to do. You can go to TheRoseyLife.com, and everything that I offer is on my website. If it's not on the website, it's not me. I'm not selling it. It's on my website. It's everything on my website is what I offer. Okay. So, real quick announcement. I'm so happy that so many of you are enjoying 3D and Me, the recording. This story I'm going to share with you is another one. I posted one in the community post already, the first one to review it and everything that's happening with her. And then this one, the reason I made that recording is I wanted to record something that you can hear consistently for an hour, focusing on that topic without bringing in quotes and books and authors and source stories and all this stuff in addition to. It's like, yeah, even on my channel, I have a lot of information on there about 3D and about everyone as you pushed out and everything, but it's always wrapped up in some kind of a lesson. So this 1 hour, that's what it is. It's only audio. There's nothing to see, and I did this on purpose. So I'm going to have some others coming out soon. I don't know what the topics are. I have some ideas, but I don't know when they're coming out. But for now, that's what that is. The other thing is the Platinum program that starts in July. I'm going to be opening up signups for that probably at the end of this week or next week. I'm just ironing a few details out in it for right now, and I'm allowing the alumni, the current people that are enrolled in my Platinum program, to be able to sign up for it first, and there's several of them that want to return. So it is going to be limited spots. I have a number in mind, but I'm willing to be a little flexible with it. So anyway, so the way that this is going to go is when I open it up, either the end of the week or next week, is obviously I'll make an announcement, but I'm going to have you sign up, and it will require you to submit a non-refundable deposit just to hold your spot, and then that deposit will go towards the program as well. So, and the payment for the program won't begin until the week before the program, which is July 8th, and the program begins July 15th. So for now, it'll just be a non-refundable deposit, and it will hold your spot for the July 15th program, and the first payment will not be due till July 8th. So there is an option to pay in full now or whenever you want to. I'll leave that one open, but for anyone else who's doing a payment plan, that's how it's going to work. Okay, so let's get to the story. I'm going to read it, and then we're going to dive into the self-concept. The reason I want to make this video is because I have a tremendous amount of clients that have paid thousands of dollars to do self-concept work. And you guys, listen, even me, even years ago, older videos, I talk about self-concept. I get it, right? Because I thought really that's what we had to do, because Neville Goddard told us, change the concept of yourself. Then it became this like massive, like business on helping people change their self-concept. And so it was misunderstood by many, I think, including myself. I mean, years ago, I used to think, okay, this is what we have to do. It's like, it makes sense. And it made sense to me because I'm a former shrink. And so I helped people change their self-concept all the time. So it was very logical thinking. However, it's very limited thinking too. And I think that everybody, all these coaches and teachers and books that are teaching self-concept, I think that they all have that intention for everybody to have what they want, to get what they want. And they really firmly believe with 100% conviction that you must change the concept of yourself the way that they're teaching it. And they teach it with such certainty and such conviction, and what they're saying is true, that because they believe it themselves, so then they in turn teach this to the world. And there's nothing wrong with, anyone telling yourself that you love yourself, that I'm wanted, I'm good enough, and all those things. There's nothing wrong with it. But we're going to get into why I also have had many clients come to me in tears, depressed, feeling dark, having dark thoughts because they think that they're just not doing it right. And no matter how much affirming and affirming about that they're good enough, that they're smart enough, that they have what they want, that things just don't seem to change. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I see so many people that are just hurting, and they're just like really torturing themselves, thinking that they don't love themselves enough, and that's why they don't have what they want. That's not what self-concept is. So we're going to get into this, and so stick with me. So let's start with the story. She gave me permission to share this, by the way. Hi, Rose. I hope you are well. I just wanted to give you a success story from only listening to you for a week now. I love this. My smile was so big reading her story, and I even told her that. A little background: I've known the law for 2 years and followed a lot of coaches talking about self-concept. I was the one asking you about self-concept and reprogramming your mind on your live the other day. She's talking about a live because I do sporadic lives on the YouTube membership channel. And I mean sporadic. Like in this last week, I've gone on there twice for a total of like almost 2 hours. But then I'll go by it long. So I do it when I'm inspired to do it. And they might, and I said, I'm not going to schedule these, because if I schedule them, I just don't feel like, it's just not my thing to be constantly scheduling things. It's just not who I am. And I just feel more free and flowing to go on there when I feel inspired to do it. And I also want to be able to do it whenever I want to do it. Like if I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I want to do a Q&A, I know there's people around the world that appreciate that time because they're awake, they're not asleep, versus if I just do it every week like at 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. or whatever. So it's just more free for me. It just fits my personality. So anyway, it felt really hard to let go of the belief that she needed to reprogram her mind and change her self-concept, because I addressed this in a live. She says, but on Friday, this last Friday, I bought your 3D and Me MP3. I listened to it once and I kept saying, I'm greater than these thoughts. I had spoken to my SP very briefly for the first time in months on Wednesday, as it was his birthday, but I still had a lot of negative thoughts coming in. Anyway, I had been invited to talk at a fundraising event on Friday, and when I was on the bus there, I went on to WhatsApp to message the woman who had arranged it and saw my SP's picture had gone. My first thought was, he'd blocked me. I messaged my friend who introduced me to you, and she told me, no, he's not. He hasn't blocked you. I felt anxious for about 10 minutes, but then everything you have been saying came into my head. I then said, no, I'm not taking the bait. I don't need anything. I have everything, and I'm going to have the best night of my life because I'm God and the main character. And then I just stopped thinking about SP and went into the event. The whole night, I felt like a celebrity because everyone was looking after me and wanting to talk to me. And I met another guy and he instantly liked me. All night, he bought me drinks and food, opened all the doors for me. And when I did my talk, he couldn't stop telling me how amazing I did. We had the best night together, and he told me he wanted to take me on so many dates. This was so huge for me because the last time I spoke to SP in December, I got so triggered because I thought he had blocked me, and he put on his Facebook he was in a relationship. When I asked him about it, he hadn't blocked me. He said he only did that because some girl was being inappropriate with him. But the main thing was I was anxious for weeks. For weeks. No amount of affirming changed that. And then the more I worked on my self-concept, the more I went into a really dark place and couldn't let go of the 3D. You see what I mean? I can't even tell you how many clients that I have that sound just like this one. So many. And quickly they move out of it by practicing everything that I keep talking about here on this channel. Then last week, I hit an all-time low when I saw a girl comment on his post, which was all innocent. He has a lot of girlfriends and cousins, and that has never bothered me before. Girl and friends are two different words, by the way, not girlfriends. So I messaged my friend and said, I can't do this anymore. I'd rather be single than keep doing this. She told me about you and I started watching your playlist. That was last Monday, and I've watched so many of your videos and shifted so much. The first one I watched gave me chills because I realized nothing is separate from me. So I made myself a promise to come off Facebook and do 0 techniques or listening to affirmations. I just kept going back to being still and knowing I am God. For all of you who wanted to know what she did, that's what she did. She just said it. She stopped doing everything. She laid off social media. She stopped listening to affirmations and videos. She said, I became still and know that I am God. So even though my manifestation isn't fully here in 3D, I finally know it's done, and this is just the middle, and that I can have anything I want because I'm God. The more I listen to you, the more it sinks in. My friend and I spoke on the phone for hours about it all, and we keep having all these realizations too. So I just want to say a huge thank you because I never thought I could get out of that cycle of being triggered and needing the 3D to validate me. I know it's just going to get better from here, and that I'm the one who gets to choose. I'm no longer sitting around hoping a guy will choose me. I choose myself. Can we do a mic drop? This girl got it, and she got it fast. She found me less than a week ago, bought that 3D thing, and I don't even know if she needed it because she was already listening to the videos. Do you guys see? So, and then I told her thank you for sharing this with me, and she also sent me a second email, and she said, of course you can share it. And she said, I also forgot to say just before I pulled myself out of it while she was going to the event, I had a thought of why did this happen? Why did this have to happen just before I go to this event to ruin my light? She was talking about what she saw with What's Up with her SP. And she said, that just showed me how I can just choose again. And I decided it wasn't going to ruin my night, and it was amazing. I'm going to keep doing everything you have taught me because I'm still having old thoughts pop up, but the great thing is they don't have power over me anymore. She got it. Yeah, baby, she got it. Do you see? So here's what I want to share with you guys. You guys, that story is powerful in and of itself. She has spent 2 years working on her self-concept. She has spent all this time learning, studying, thinking something's missing, something's wrong with her, affirming for her person, affirming he calls her, he loves her, he wants her. She did all of it. She did all of it. And here's what worked. Nothing. Absolutely didn't do a frickin' thing. Nothing. That's what works for her. That's what worked in the last video that I made and my other video that I talked about the SP that my client, nothing. She said, I don't need anything. And for those of you who are just like, oh, another SP story. Look, it doesn't matter if you're just like saying, oh, it's just an SP story. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a SP or billions of dollars or your career or health. It's all the same. It doesn't matter what story it is. And the reason that you're like looking for a specific answer to a specific thing is because you don't understand that you're everything, that you're all things. That's the whole point of this. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because all my clients that I've been working with, especially the ones in my platinum program, they're like, oh my God. I'm like, I almost wish I could interview them all, but I can't because of their privacy. But the transformation that has taken place in every single one of them is just beautiful, and their minds are blown of how different they are. They're happy. They're at peace. They're getting what they want. They're seeing their whole lives change. They go to sleep at night in peace with a smile on their face. They know who they are, because this is what being still does. Okay? So this self-concept trap, and hamster wheel, right? I'm not going to say everybody, but many of you and many even teachers out there that teach this, they're teaching it from a very limited perspective. But I don't think they're doing it on purpose. That's the thing. I don't think they're doing it with harm or malintent. I think they're doing it because this is where they are. This is what they believe. This is what I used to believe. Okay? So when you know who you are, you understand what self-concept is. But the attempt of the self-concept teaching, if you will, okay, is to get you to understand or believe or convince you of something you never knew or believed to be true about yourself, regardless of how you learned it or that you never knew it. In other words, all these affirmations, and whether they're robotic affirmations, or you're being delusional, or you're talking yourself delusional, you're pretending, you're acting as if whatever you're doing, all these things is an attempt, right? And the way it's taught is like, just convince yourself, reprogram your brain, that you have to reprogram your brain. You have to rewire yourself because you had childhood trauma, because something happened to you. No one taught you to love yourself. And then people walk around feeling victimized, like, yeah, I never loved myself and no one loved me. And then they're trying to convince themselves of something that they don't believe to be true. This is why you feel like you're beating your head up against the wall, because you're trying to convince yourself of something that you've never believed to be true. So that's why it feels hard, and it feels like stressful, and you have heartache over this, because you feel like you have to force yourself into believing something that you don't even know what the hell people are talking about. But you just repeat it because he sounds so convincing, and you just keep doing it because you think if you keep doing it, you're going to get what you want. And it makes perfect logical sense that way, doesn't it? The real point of self-concept is not to brainwash yourself or reprogram your self-concept. You don't need brainwashing. You don't need to program yourself. You don't need to rewire your brain. You don't need to like change yourself or fix yourself. You're perfect. That's what we're doing. It's to remember who you always have been. Do you see the difference? The whole point of changing the conception of yourself is to remember who you've always have been. That's why Neville said, when you change the conception of yourself, you change the world that you live in. But he also said, it is your refusal to believe it is why you don't see it. because that you have to claim that you already are that person you desire to be, that you already are that person. This isn't about forcing, this isn't about convincing, it's to remember. You're remembering that you've always been love. You're remembering that you always have been abundant. You're remembering that you are health. You're remembering that you are peace. You're remembering. You're not reprogramming, you're remembering that you already are these things. And when you remember, guess what happens? How to remember? In stillness. You stop taking the bait. You stop falling for the feelings, falling for the thoughts, falling for the techniques. Think about this. Every time you feel like you can't be still and that you feel the drive or the little inner motor to go do something, that's because you still don't believe that you already are those things, that you already are love, that you already are peace, health, wealth, all of that stuff, right? You are trying. Every time you try to go do something, you try to affirm, you try to do it, what you're really doing is you're saying, I don't believe it, so I need to do these things to force myself to believe something. It's the opposite of be still and know I am God. Be still. In stillness, you will find the clarity that surpasses all understanding. You will find peace that surpasses all understanding. You will find the answers. You will see what you've been believing. You'll see the BS and you'll laugh at it. You won't have to reprogram yourself. You're going to sit there in stillness and knowing who you are, and then these beliefs are going to pop up and you're going to laugh at them because you understand. I am still. I am God. I'm not the beliefs. I don't have to reprogram myself. I don't have to flip a thought. I don't have to find a belief. They're in your face. They're in your face every single day. And when you're still and you practice being still, knowing that I am God, all of these things fall away. You don't even have to do anything because you're claiming your power. You're claiming who you are. The true you has always been love, peace, abundance, health. The true you is everything. You're everything. You literally are everything right now. And that's what you're remembering. What the hell? I'm everything. I don't have to reprogram myself. I don't have to like fix myself. I don't have to do anything. I'm everything right now. Do you see? So it's not convincing yourself of something new from a victim of poor me. I was never loved as a kid, or I was abused as a kid, or I was hurt as a kid. And I'm not belittling those experiences, and I'm not saying that they didn't happen, okay? But the more that you focus and try to fix those things, you guys, former shrink here, I'm telling you right now, I had clients that spent 15, 20 years in a clinician's office, and then they found me, and I'm like, are you done with that, trying to heal what your family did to you or what happened to you X amount of years ago? Are you done with that? Because every time we talk about it, you're just reliving it. You're reliving it. You think that it feels good by reliving it every week, but what is it doing for you right now in your life? Nothing. It does nothing. You don't need to recount that and keep telling it to validate that you are worthy. You're validated. You are worthy. You are everything right now. So it's not about that. It's I am God. That's what this is about. I am God. I am love, peace. I am money. I am everything. I'm now getting the memo. That's what we're doing. We're remembering that I'm everything. We're everything. And we're now getting the memo. That's it. And it's not too late. The memo didn't arrive late. It arrived exactly perfectly on time. Wherever you are, however old you are, whatever's happened to you, whatever you think that has been a mistake, whatever you think you've done wrong, it's not too late. It's not over. Not over. Excuse me, a little burp. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfectly on time. You are perfectly on time. And the more that you accept who you are right now, the more that you are in the now, when you practice being still, and that just simply means cut it all off. Get off all the trying, all the self-concept hamster wheels and trying to fix yourself and trying to improve yourself. Get off of these techniques of your forcing. If you want to do a technique and it feels hella good because it just feels good because you know that you're God and you get everything, then by all means do it. But that's not what most of you are doing. You are using techniques to force something, to convince yourself of something. Convincing and remembering are two different things. You're remembering. You're not trying to convince yourself. You're remembering. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I'm God. I have everything. I'm everything. If you want to affirm anything, I am God. I am everything. I already am every single thing. And there was a quote, I thought I had written it down, by Eckhart Tolle that I put in my story, in my Instagram story this morning. And he said, you can lose what you have, but you cannot lose who you are. I can lose what I have, but I cannot lose who I am. Do you see the difference? Because if I am claiming that I am everything, that I am all those things, I am wealthy, I am healthy, that I am everything, that I am God, I cannot lose any of those things. But if I try to get things, and I try to get things to do, or get money, get people, get stuff, get, right? That's still thinking that I don't have it, and that's why I want to get it. And I know that makes like logical sense to you, but who you are has nothing to do with your logic. We're not talking about logic. We're talking about your divine nature. You're nameless, shapeless, formless. You are that which cannot be named. There's no logic involved in this. Throw the logic out the window, and you are going within. Being still is your faith. Being still is allowing whatever thoughts to come up, allowing the feelings to come up, and let them be there. If you're still, you can observe these things. But if you're trying to make something happen, then you can't be still. You can't be still and try to make stuff happen. You have to choose. You have to choose. You either are everything and you trust you are, or you're not. And then you try to make trust a chore. How do I trust more? How do I believe more? How do I be still more? I'm literally saying it in this video. And if you haven't heard me say it in the video, go back and watch it again. Because all the answers are in that story I shared with you, in this video, and in all my videos. It's all here for you. All right, my loves? I intend this video was really helpful and moved you to be still and know that you are God, that there is only one power, one source, and that is who we are. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you for sharing the videos and channel. I see you guys sharing them more and more, and I appreciate that. It helps the Rosey Life grow and let more people out there get off their little hamster wheels of self-concept work too. And remember, we're not demonizing anybody. None of these coaches are doing anything wrong. They're really teaching what they truly believe from their heart that needs to happen. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also, if you hear people, teachers, books, or coaches, or friends, or whoever, if anybody is still blaming others or saying they're bad, I'm good, you don't need that, don't do that. If you're still hearing people diminish and putting down other coaches or teachers, right, or comparing or saying you don't, they still must not understand that they create their own reality, that there's no one else in their reality but them. Because when you understand that, you know there's nothing to blame. Instead, you open up to kindness and compassion and love. and you understand that everybody is exactly where they're supposed to be. I always say I'm so grateful that we have so many teachers that have different perspectives and teach from a different viewpoint, and they're different levels of awareness. That's it. All these coaches are teaching from levels of awareness. That's all that's happening. But the self-concept thing really has gotten out of hand, and to the point where all my clients, the newer clients that are coming to me, are telling me that they're just tired and exhausted, and that they don't know what they're doing wrong with their self-concept. And I'm like, there is nothing you're doing wrong. You don't have to do anything. Your self-concept is already perfect. It's already perfect. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. I love you guys. You all are so freaking amazing. I love you. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye.